Hello and welcome back to the channel and to 2025. This is not the first video that we've released in 2025, but it is early on enough in 2025.
It's the first video I've been in.
Yes, there you go. This is Laura's entry into 2025.
Yay!
Yeah, because you've been very busy, haven't
I
you?
have. I've been a busy bee.
And we've both been ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really ill.
Yeah. We got that horrible flu that's been going around.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
It was not fun, but we are recovered mostly.
I think so.
And today we wanted to get excited about books.
Yes.
Because colds and flus are not exciting.
No, they're not.
So let's get excited about books. Okay, so Laura.
Yes, Ross.
I have a list of books here that are coming out in the first half of this year.
Okay.
Specifically science fiction / fantasy releases.
Okay. Yep.
And also books I think that you might not have heard of.
Okay.
And that I'm also hoping that our audience might not have heard of.
Okay. Yep.
So that, you know, there's some value in you watching this video.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's just like, here are these books you know are coming out. No, but hopefully some of these will be new to you and might kind of pique your interest.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah?
Let's do it. Let's do this.
Okay, all right. And in order to do this, I'm going to need to reach across and to bring my device across the table so that I can read from it.
Okay.
And show you the pictures, because they're nice pictures, and the pictures will appear somewhere.
As if by magic.
Yeah, I don't know, somewhere around.
Up on the screen.
Yeah. All right, so Laura, first of all, I'd like to start off with a book that's already out.
Okay.
Came out the 7th of January.
Okay.
And this is called Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Sean-Ann Maguire.
Ooh.
And this is published by Tor.com.
Okay.
And look at that lovely cover.
Beautiful.
Little tortoise.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Having a cute little swim. So this is a Tor.com novella. Going to be, you know, little hardback, like thin hardback. Often very well picked, but often quite expensive.
That does tend to be the way with Tor.com.
Yeah, but this one looks really interesting. So it is a portal fantasy. Mm-hmm. So portal fantasy meaning a fantasy where the main character is transported to a world that is not their world, and where we are discovering that world through their eyes. So you're thinking like Narnia, you're thinking Spirited Away, you're thinking, I don't know, Stephen Donaldson, Lord Fowler's Bane, all that kind of thing. Except it's short and small, and it has giant turtles,
Okay.
impossible ships,
Okay.
and tidal rivers.
Ooh. He knows how to pique my interest.
I had you at turtles. So NPR says a mini masterpiece of portal fantasy, a jewel of a book that deserves to be shelved with Lewis Carroll's and C.S. Lewis's classics.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, is there a higher praise? Well, probably yes, there is a higher praise, but that's quite a high praise. So that sounds really interesting.
It does. It does sound interesting. I want to read it.
Yeah. I do like a second world fantasy with lots of water in it. Although maybe not ships. You don't like ships.
I don't like boats.
No.
In real life and in my fiction. Anyway.
Okay, so moving on. We have Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor, and this is published by Gollancz.
Yep.
Our friends Gollancz.
Yes.
And this looks very exciting. Okay. So it's a full-length novel.
Yep.
In fact, tell you what, look at that.
I was aware of this one because we've got an arc.
We've got an arc of this one.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, they call them arcs because you're supposed to read them in advance.
Yeah.
We haven't read it yet, but we will read it at some point.
Wap. There's just so many books in the world.
So many books, and when you run a bookshop, you have to read so many books. It's just...
Let me get my tiny violin.
Anyway, this is a full-length novel, and it's a work of meta-fiction.
Okay.
So it's about an author at rock bottom who decides to write a science fiction novel about AI and the extinction of humanity. So it is a book within a book.
Ooh, love that.
Bookception.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think this is, to my understanding, the first time that Nnedi Okorafor has tried anything structurally like exactly the same as this. This is a new experiment, but it sounds incredibly exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's featured on the New York Times Book Review podcast, which we listen to a lot. So they made the mainstream. So this is all very exciting.
It is exciting. I'm excited. Yeah. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is out on the 14th of January in the US and the 20th of February in the UK. So that's one to look forward to. Right, coming up next, We have, well, I suppose we have to mention it, don't we?
Who?
We have Andrew Watson's new book.
Who?
We love you, Andrew. So, Andrew Watson, author of the Shadowbinders trilogy, of which he's called it a trilogy despite the fact he's only written 2. Yeah, I know. Getting a bit ahead of yourself there, Andrew.
We love you, Discord Daddy.
Yeah. Anyway, The Black Mantle, book 2 is coming out sometime in February, January? A date will be on the screen.
Yeah.
And this is very exciting. We read the first one. In his Shadowbinders trilogy, he has embarked on an epic kind of quest of world building and building a desert fantasy, which we don't have enough of those. I feel like desert fantasies are great fun.
June.
Well, that's one. Name another.
The book that wouldn't burn.
Sort of deserty, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't talk about the book that wouldn't burn. We hate that book. Okay, so this is really exciting. And look at that amazing cover. Like, didn't Felix Ortiz absolutely knock that out of the park?
Yeah.
It looks absolutely fantastic.
No, it's amazing. He absolutely nailed it.
I will say, I did participate in the beta read for this book, but due to
Real life commitments.
unfortunately I wasn't able to participate all the way through. But I have, therefore, previewed some of the start of the book, and it is really exciting and a new kind of interesting direction to take the series. And I hear it gets pretty dark. I never quite saw the darkness in him, you know. I always thought
He's
he was
just so nice and, you know,
yeah,
so charming and polite and Scottish and,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Coming on the 11th of February, we have One Message Remains by Premi Mohammed. Now, Premi Mohammed is a really exciting author who I read one of her books for the first time last year, which was Siege of Burning Grass, and really, really good. And it was nominated for the Ursula K. Le Guin Award, so, you know, she's doing something right. Anyway, Premi is just a really, really interesting person. I was there at the folk horror panel at Worldcon that she featured in, she dialed in. And
she had a cat in it.
She had a little cat and the biggest mug of tea I've ever seen in my life. Either that or she's very small. Could be both. So in One Message Remains, it is a short story collection, and she is returning to a previous world that she explored called the Deadlands, which is a morally ambiguous world of war and magic. I expect that this will be quite difficult to find in the UK, at least physical copies, because it's published by a small press called Psychopomp, which I don't know if we're going to get UK distribution.
We did try to find this to stock in the shop.
Yeah.
And couldn't.
Try online.
Maybe if you're watching this and you'd like to hook us up with a supplier, we are a bricks and mortar retailer that specialises in science fiction and fantasy in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Send us an email.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, great. Anyway, Premi, really excited to read more of her stuff this year. I have the Butcher of the Forest on my TBR for the short term. I've also got No One Will Come Back to Us on the TBR as well. So really excited to read more of your stuff, Premi. So there we go.
I love how we're just assuming she's watching this now.
Yeah. That's...
Has somebody sent this to Premi yet? If you're watching this and you know her and you haven't sent it,
send it. Looking forward to seeing you in the comments, Premi. Anyway, moving on. The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar.
Whoa!
Now, we know that name. What do we know that name from?
This Is How We Lose Time War.
Absolutely. Which she wrote with Max Gladstone.
And she did.
So this is Amal's solo debut. And Laura, listen to this and tell me if it doesn't remind you of one of your favourite books from last year.
Okay.
In a small town of Thistleford, on the edge of Faerie, dwells the mysterious Hawthorne family. There they tend and harvest the enchanted willows and honour an ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. None more devotedly than the family's latest daughters, Esther and Isabel, who cherish each other as much as they cherish the ancient trees. But when Esther rejects a forceful suitor in favour of a lover from the land of Faerie, not only the sisters' bond, but also their lives will be at risk.
Okay, I want to read it.
Yeah, sounds great, doesn't it? There we go. And that's coming out on the 4th of March, and it's another novella from Tor.com. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Very exciting.
Add it to the possibility pile.
Which is what we now call our TBRs.
Yes, because it's just much more positive than TBR, which just feels like a chore.
Yeah. Yeah. Next on the list, we have a book with an ambiguous release date, but it is by our very dear friend Rogba Payne.
Yes. Love you, Rogba.
And this is the second book in what we have now come to learn is a series called The Song of God Hunters, which is the most badass name for a series ever. And the book is called A Testimony of Blood.
He's going hard.
He's going hard. This is the sequel to The Dance of Shadows, which was one of my favourite books of last year.
Yeah.
It was a really exciting book. And we don't know much about it yet. Only that it continues the world that Rogba has established. And we should expect to see more warring gods, amazing action, and more high Afro fantasy. Very excited to find out more. The provisional date that was in the Orion catalogue was the 1st of May, but we will see. I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, we don't know otherwise, it's just that we've yet to see much publicity for it. So we expect to see that soon. But yeah, very exciting.
I know Rogba wants to come down to the shop at some point. So maybe once we have a provisional date, we might do a little something.
We'll see, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Just floating that out there.
Floating it out there, putting it into the world. We're manifesting. Speaking of manifesting, I'm going to manifest the next book on this list.
Yes.
There's another book by one of my favourite little smaller authors who I got to meet last year, which is Neon Yang.
Okay, yes.
Yes. So this is called Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame.
Woof.
Yes.
It's a good name.
What's the word? There's not a
That's
superlative.
a good cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
So I'm usually allergic to books with faces on the cover. But this is a good one.
You remember that cover for Six Crimson Cranes with
Yeah.
the woman's face on the front?
Yeah.
That you were like, oh, it's too facey.
Yeah.
Same artist, Tran Wen.
Okay.
Yeah. So once again, Neon Yang has the best cover artists
Yeah.
in the biz.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is another novella and another Tor.com novella. I swear I didn't just surf the Tor.com website to create this list. It's just
They're just smashing it this year.
doing good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So, new book from the author of The Tenseret. Neon is lovely, absolutely lovely, and we got to hear them talk a little bit about what this book was going to be like in the little table talk. It kind of sounds more traditional fantasy, more trad fan.
Trad fan.
Kind of like slightly
Trad fan.
trad fan.
Moving swiftly on.
This is a story of a protagonist who is torn between duty and love, which is always a fertile ground for a good story, I think.
Yes.
And also sapphic, very sapphic.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
So we're going to see it in May at some point. But
Cool.
I'm excited about that one. Really, look, I love the Tenseret and I love the Asian-inspired fantasy setting, but I'm keen to see what Neon's going to do with this. This is going to be really exciting. Two more.
Yep.
Both, again, authors we met in the last year.
We just so happen to have met some really cool people. We're just...
Yeah. Anyway, so next on the list is a full-length novel by the author duo MK Hardy.
Love.
We're big fans of MK Hardy,
Yes.
despite losing to them at the quiz
Yeah.
at Chimera.
Yes, which was not okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But this is really exciting. So this is The Needfire.
Yes, I've been excited about this for a long time.
It has been called a Scottish Sapphic Gothic horror
Oh, yum, 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 yum.
for fans of Rebecca
Oh,
by Daphne du Maurier. So that's going to be good. That's going to be good,
oh,
right?
it's just hitting all my favourite things.
Okay, I'm going to give you a blurb because
Yeah.
I think this blurb is going to sell it to you. If
Okay.
you're not sold, then it'll be sold out. Fleeing her mistakes in Glasgow for a marriage of convenience, Nora Mackenzie's new home on an estate far in the north of Scotland is a chance for freedom, a fresh start. But in the dim, drafty corridors of Corran House, something is very wrong. Despite their warm correspondence, her distant, melancholic husband does not seem to know her.
Ooh.
She is plagued by ghost ships on the sea, spectres at the corner of her eye, by winding, grasping roots. Her only possible companion, the housekeeper Agnes Gunn, is by turns unnerving and alluring.
Ooh.
And harbours uncanny secrets of her own. As the foundations crumble beneath her feet, Nora must uncover the truth about Corrin House, her husband, Agnes, and herself if she is to find the freedom she has been chasing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Just we big fan.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Nom, 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 nom.
And that's coming on the 31st of July. So we're into the second half of the year for that one.
Yeah.
But this year, if last year was anything to go by, this year is going to go very quickly.
Okay, yum.
Time is accelerating. Have you noticed? I think it's proof we're in a simulation.
That or we're getting older.
Yeah, each year is a smaller percentage
Fraction of your life.
Of your life. Well, that's depressing. Let's be undepressed by Ben Aronovich.
Yay!
We love Ben.
We love Ben. Yeah.
Aw. So, Ben is back with a new book, also set in Scotland,
Woo!
called Stone and Sky. So we get to see Peter Grant going on holiday to Scotland, which is, I mean, that sounds great. I mean, it kind of follows in our footsteps, you know, because we listened to Rivers of London and then we went on holiday to Scotland.
Oh,
so,
clearly.
You know,
and we've met Ben in Scotland.
yeah, basically.
Many times.
We must have met him while he was being inspired by it.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Actually, knowing how slow publishing is, he probably had already written this and has got 5 more under his belt.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway, so little blurb. All Detective Constable Peter Grant wanted was a nice holiday up in Scotland. He'll need one once this is over. Sea, check. Sand, some, sun, sort of. But that's not the only thing in the sky. What do we think? What do we think's in the sky?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know. I'm not up to date with the Peter Grant books.
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be the Goodyear blimp. What do you reckon it's going to be?
Oh, I don't know. Some kind of demon birds.
Demon birds.
It must be demon birds.
Must be demon birds. All right. Well, there we go. Are you looking forward to those books?
Which of those books are you most looking forward to, if any of them?
Can't wait for the demon birds.
Are there any other books that you're looking forward to in the first half of 2025 that we haven't mentioned? Generally, how are you? Have you missed me? I've definitely missed you.
In fact, I only answer that question if you have missed Laura.
Yeah, if you haven't missed me, just shut up.
Don't talk.
Don't say anything.
One thing we are very much looking forward to is finally getting the chance to talk about The Devils with you all in 2025 Oh, you were in for a treat.
We didn't mention that in the video because that was a lesser publicised books video. This is obviously like the biggest publicised book that's ever come out. So.
Or we're just waiting for us to George R. R. Martin to drop The Winds of Winter, and then the year will be complete. Anyway.
Anything else that we need to say?
No, just find us on socials.
Yes,
and
at Hardy's Books on Instagram. We do have a bricks and mortar shop now, as some of you will know. So if you want to follow our adventures at the bookshop, it's at Station Books Tunbridge Wells.
Yes, and if you're not local, you can support us by buying your books through bookshop.org or through Libro FM.
Yeah.
We have some affiliate links for these books and others down in the description below.
Yeah. And hit like if you've enjoyed this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got to this point in the video, let us know that you've made it to the end by leaving a comment with a leaf emoji in it.
Yes, choose your leaf.
Choose your leaf.
Leaf and the leaf emoji.
Right, love you all. Bye.